Welcome to the podcast playbook, where we amplify your voice, amplify your business, and amplify your impact. We are AmplifYou. Let's go. We're talking about the elements of a podcast and ways that you can utilize them to really support your business and your brand. So there are not many rules when it comes to podcasting, but there are a few key elements. It's essential to utilize these elements to maximize your community and client engagement. With proper utilization, these elements can attract your ideal client. So visually, we're going to start with the cover art. Your podcast cover art serves as a first impression for potential listeners, and it should be visually captivating, reflecting your brand identity and clearly conveying a theme or topic of your podcast. Utilize vibrant colors, clear fonts, and compelling imagery to grab attention and make your podcast stand out. Ensure that your cover art includes essential branding elements, such as your podcast title and logo, to facilitate that instant recognition. A trailer episode. A trailer episode acts as a teaser for your podcast, offering listeners a preview of what to expect from future episodes. I call us the Netflix generation. When was the last time you watched a show without watching that 30 to 60 second clip of highlights that lets you know what that show is all about? Use this opportunity to hook your audience with intriguing snippets. Highlight the content and format of your podcast and encourage them to subscribe for more. A well-crafted trailer should effectively communicate a unique value proposition of your podcast and leave listeners eager for more. Every show has an intro. Your podcast intro sets the tone and establishes the identity of your show. It typically includes elements such as an introduction to the podcast and the host, background music or sound effects to create ambiance, and a brief overview of the episode's content. By incorporating these elements, you can create a cohesive and engaging introduction and captivate your audience from the start and sets the stage for a memorable listening experience. I recommend keeping it really short. You don't want anybody hitting that skip button to get past your voice, to get past the music, because that immediately tells them there's no value. The less skipping, the better. So keep it short, welcome them back. Remember, they're only hearing it for the first time once. Every other time, it should be a welcome back. And finally, the outro. Podcast outro provides an opportunity to leave a lasting impression on your audience and encourage further engagement. Use this time to express gratitude to your listener for tuning in. Invite them to subscribe, rate, review your podcast, and tease upcoming episodes or special announcements. A well-crafted outro helps reinforce your brand identity, fosters a sense of connection with your audience, and encourages them to continue supporting your podcast. Ultimately, this should again be a short, impactful call to action. They've just spent the last period of time listening to your show as a fly on the wall. Invite them into the conversation. Bring them in as your engagement strategy. What do they do next, and how do they apply all the actions you've just recommended in your show? Oh, you are still here. I'm honored. Thank you. If you're ready to take the next step, go grab the podcast playbook. It's free, AmplifyYou.com. Every step you need is there. And if we can help, don't be afraid to reach out. Happy podding.